Hey, it's Kevin Lawton with the New Warehouse Podcast here at ProMat 2023. I am in the booth with Ken Ramoutar. He's the Chief Marketing Officer at Lucas Systems, and he's going to tell us a little bit about Lucas Systems and their MHI Innovation Award finalists as well. So he's going to tell us a little bit about why they're finalists and that solution. So Ken, first off, welcome to the booth. How are you doing? It's day one here. We're, I don't know, a half hour in.
Yeah.
So what are you feeling? How's it going?
Yeah, Kevin, first, thanks. Great to be here. ProMat, just like all the other MHI events, are amazing. There's just so much to see, do. It's a busy place, big place. So it's the start of the show. Looks like a great start. Looks like a lot of turnout. So we're excited about meeting customers, prospects, and partners there.
Definitely, and like you said, it's a big show. I mean, it is definitely huge. So tell us a little bit about Lucas Systems. We never had you on the show before, so give us a little background for the listeners on what it is you guys do.
Yeah, sure. So Lucas Systems, we're a Pittsburgh-based company. We're a software company, and we make software for warehouses and distribution centers.
Right.
But in particular, we make software that helps workers do their work. So our system is run by we call it Jennifer. Jennifer is the voice and the brains of our system.
Okay. Right.
And Jennifer, like Alexa or Siri, she helps the workers move around the warehouse, know what to do, know what to pick, know where to go next. And so she's really their best friend. And so what Lucas does is we not only help the workers, but we help the folks who run the warehouse get a lot more efficiency and productivity out of the warehouse.
All right, great. And so I'm curious, why Jennifer? Why is the name Jennifer?
Yeah, that's a long one. When we were a 25-year-old company back in the day, there was a time where one thing we did find out, Kevin, is that we were testing voice years ago. Warehouse workers like female voices better than male voices.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's just a little tidbit. And then so we kicked around names and I don't know, came up with the name Jennifer.
Someone just said Jennifer one day and that was it.
It stuck. It stuck. People talk to Jennifer all day long, like she's the person that they work with is Jennifer, tell me where to go. Jennifer, give me a code. Jennifer, what is item? All kinds of commands that you have.
Interesting. So now the voice, in the system is like a voice pick type of system that you would say? Or, is it telling you, other things too besides just picking?
It tells you a lot of stuff. So it does voice picking, but it's a voice optimization system. So really what it does is, if you have a warehouse with maybe, say, Kevin, 150 workers, you've really got to orchestrate everybody at the same time, moving around. And one of the things that we do at Lucas is we optimize how they run the warehouse. So one of the things that, and that's one of the reasons we're up for an award here at MHI, is we help optimize the amount of travel a worker might do. So typically a worker in a big warehouse might walk 5-8 miles a day. And that's a lot, every day, all day. And with software like Lucas, you can cut that back by 50%. A lot of the time they walk is actually unproductive time, and it's not the most efficient routes. So that's what Jennifer does. Jennifer helps them get through the warehouse, get through their jobs, whether it's picking, replenishment, put away, in the most efficient way possible. So it really takes a lot of stress off the workers.
Yeah. I think that's a great thing, and like you said, there's just so many steps that you can take in a warehouse, and I look at my area in New Jersey, and the warehouses are they're just freaking huge. So I can imagine the amount of steps that somebody can take in a day. So optimizing that travel is such a key thing, and I think for people looking from the outside, or it's not something maybe that would hit them right away, but saving just a couple steps can save you seconds upon seconds, which is so much time and so much cost savings over time.
Well, also the workforce in the labor is a big challenge for most of our customers and most people who run warehouses, and so there's a fair amount of the generation baby boomers like myself retiring out of the workforce, and the newer workers, the Gen Z folks, they want tech. They don't want to be schlepping around all day long, so their expectations are much bigger. So you need this. I think this is going to be it's a game changer for those who want to acquire and retain the warehouse workforce of the future.
Right, absolutely.
They're going to want they're going to want tools like this.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the retention is a huge point, like you said. I think last year at Modex it was all about the labor shortage, and now it's like more about how do we keep employees, right? So going about that in a smarter way is a really good thing. So tell us a little bit more about the Innovation Award and the kind of the details of the solution that you're finalist for.
Yeah, we were real proud here at Lucas to be selected out of 156 entries. We're one of 4 for a category called Most Innovative IT or Most Innovative Software. Only 4 players. And we got selected for a product we call Dynamic Work Optimization.
All right.
And that's really the product I was talking about. It's the one that when you use the Lucas system and you have Dynamic Work Optimization, it really has a lot of smarts behind it. It has a lot of AI and machine learning and a lot of algorithms, and looks at the entire map of the warehouse. And that's the smarts that we use to actually help optimize all the travel pathing that all workers do all day, every day. And it's constantly recalculating because orders constantly keep coming in. So you might have it figured out in the morning, but it's going to change in 10 minutes because you got new orders in. So there's a lot of smarts going on these days in software, and we've been building this for over 10 years.
Wow.
We've got customers all around the world using it. Some big results. Some of our customers are saving like 50% in terms of the amount of travel they do, which means 50% productivity improvement. So it's big.
Yeah, definitely huge. I mean, that kind of savings is gigantic, and it just goes to the testament of what we were saying before. Like, it's little steps. Maybe it just seems like it's just a couple steps, but they add up over time, right? So you've been working on this for 10 years. I mean, I'm curious, like how has it evolved, and especially in 10 years now, and we look at the show floor here, we saw these robots and everything like that. I mean, how have your systems evolved to kind of adapt to all this new automation and robotics that's coming into our space?
Yeah, a couple of ways. I mean, so one is over the years, we've gotten smarter about how to bring more, data science into the tech. So we're using things like machine learning, and so it gets smarter every time. It gets more data, and so that's some of the evolution, and that keeps adding to the value, so you get more and more efficiency. Probably another evolution is like you're seeing a lot of robots in this show. There's no lack of robotics companies.
It's everywhere.
So one of the challenges customer has is, how do I make these robots and people all work together? It's some people think, I'll just put all the robots in and get rid of the people. Well, that's not really the reality. It's most of the time you're introducing a few robots into your warehouse, seeing how they work. But remember, you still got people running around, and you got robots running around. And so who's going to manage all that? And so that's what Lucas and Jennifer does. It helps tell the robots where to go, but it helps tell the people where to go, so everything is synchronized, when to bring a new robot in, when to move the robot out so the robot can go dump materials onto conveyor, bring a new robot in, or bring a new person in. So it gets really complicated if you have a warehouse with 150 pickers and a bunch of robots moving around. You really need to have really intelligent software to do that well. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that if we had a person, Jennifer, that was trying to do something like that, I mean, it would be virtually impossible. They would probably pull all their hair out and
it's
go
exactly
crazy.
Right. It's gotten beyond where a person, a supervisor, can manage this. You got to have smart software.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious on that side too. If people are listening and from the shipper perspective, and they're thinking about getting into. I'm sure there's a ton of people that are coming to ProMat this week that are thinking about like we need to get some type of robotics automation. I mean, what would you give them as some advice for thinking about the software side of things too?
My piece of advice is the first piece of advice is think about how all this is going to be run and who's going to run it and how it's going to work with your existing system. Most of the robotics companies, I mean, they're very good at building robots. That's generally where they came from. But this is a whole layer of orchestration that most companies don't think about till they get to the point of saying, oh, how do I put this in and how do I make it work? Right? So my advice would be not just think about the robots, but think about how it's going to work in the system and who are the companies that are going to help you make that happen.
Okay. All right. Very interesting stuff. And I think that's great advice too, because like you said, like you don't want to get this robot in and then like, oh, well, how's it going to work with everything else I have here, right? So so it's very important to make sure that you're thinking about the whole process all the way through, and the back end too, like you said, with the software side. So really interesting stuff to learn from you here, Ken, on Lucas, and learn about Jennifer as well. I'm hoping maybe I get to meet Jennifer one day.
Well, come on over to her booth and we'll show you how she works.
Definitely. I'll be stopping by and we'll get a little demo and just see how that works, and then we'll be able to share that with the listeners too. So if people are interested in learning more about Lucas Systems, how can they do that?
The best place is lucasware.com. And we've got lots of great info. There's some videos. You can see Jennifer working.
Okay.
You can hear her voice.
Yeah.
And that's what I would suggest. Go to lucasware.com.
All right, great. And we'll definitely put that information at thenewroutes.com as well.
Okay.
So Ken, thanks so much for coming by the booth and joining me here on ProMat Day 1.
Enjoyed it. Take care.